My next guest is Owens, and he's getting ready to face Scott Hudson on November the 11th at XFC 43 on NBC Sports. Dewan, how are you?
Listen, I'm feeling good, man. Mid workout right now. Cut it in half just so I can chop it up with you. Once we get off, I got to get right back on the grind, man. But I'm feeling good.
Yeah, well, clearly it looks like you got a good run in. How long typically do you go for jogs for?
Just a couple of miles. Like it depends. If I'm going at a faster pace, maybe 2 3 miles. If I'm just focusing on weight, then it's a slower pace but longer, maybe like 6 7. But yeah, I never had this type of as you know, man. It's a big stakes tournament. A lot of some serious incentive. So I'm pushing it even more, man. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna push that even more. I'm gonna try to push that 9 10. It's time to get it, man.
Well, tell me, how has this particular camp been, and how healthy are you feeling leading into this fight?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. This camp's been good. I trained in North Carolina, so I got most of my training here. I went down to Florida for a little while. I got a good buddy down there, really, really, really high level gym. Just wanted to get some different looks. Here, like I said, it's a good scene, but we've been training together for a while, so you can kind of learn each other's tricks, right? It's not just about being a big fish in a small pond. Like you train with similar people, you're aware of each other. So I had to go to a completely different scene. Not only just a high level, gym, but just a different look. So now I can try everything I know against opponents who have know nothing about me. So I can kind of test things, measure things, see what works. So it was, it was really good. I just got back a couple of days ago, so I want to kind of get some fine tuning in, some healing. Especially with my coaches. Obviously, that
Mhm.
connection is priority. So finishing up camp here.
So historically speaking, have you had like the same close, group of training partners throughout your career? So this is something new for you to kind of expand and go elsewhere?
Well, pretty much. I also have another gym that I used to when I used to live in Virginia. So my gym up there was MMA Institute. So between and obviously North Carolina and Virginia right by each other. So there's sometimes I would go up there. You know what I mean? So it's a different look. That gym is more of a fight gym. So like everybody there has aspirations of being like a higher level pro. So that's a good look. But again, it's still within my kind of circle of familiarity, if that makes any sense. You understand? This
Yeah.
was like completely different, completely new. So yeah, I'm feeling good.
That's good to hear. Give me a couple names. Who have been some of those main guys that you've been with for this particular camp?
Yeah, well, down there, I don't know if you all, well, you better be familiar with him, but Jay Z Calvin Conte, he was one of my favorite fighters when I was amateur. Definitely my favorite in the lightweight division. Just a monster. Obviously high level black belt, but MMA incredible fighter. Um, a lot of training partners. A lot of them, I'm pretty sure you all will be hearing their names soon. But a lot of upcoming pros, a lot of established pros. Very very strong jujitsu down there. And here, a lot of my partners, one of my buddies, my Muay Thai coach, Josh Brackett, he owns the gym, 36 Chambers. My two MMA coaches, Harold Hubbard, Cody Maltai. Harold is a brown belt lucha libre, brown belt jiu-jitsu. Cody's a black belt jiu-jitsu, also a pro. So everybody I train with, they're people who are not only good at their particular art, but they're also professional. They fought professionally, so they can kind of put it in an MMA context.
Gotcha, gotcha. Now, it goes without saying that 2020 has been a very bizarre year to say the least. What has it been like for you, man? How has it affected your training and your ability to just kind of live your day-to-day life?
Listen, I'm gonna be honest, man. Fighting wasn't on my radar this year. Like this got so wild. I just wasn't expecting it. And I'm not, I know people who was training all through COVID, and I don't need to sugarcoat shit because I'm still gonna go out there in the tournament and whoop ass. But I wasn't. You know what I mean? I wasn't training. I do a lot of things outside of MMA. I do a lot of justice work and nonprofit work, so I was focusing on that. I also teach. I got my teacher certification a little while ago, so I was teaching until the school said, "Look, the children aren't coming." And obviously, in addition to being a fighter, like I'm a fan, I'm a fan of the sport, so I would always kind of follow things, but I wasn't really training too much, man. Maybe I get some mid work in every once in a while. I think I rolled a few times with a small group of people, but even then, I was like, you know. But once I got the call, and props to XFC, like we got decent notice, much better notice than I've gotten before. So once I got the call, I think I was like I don't know what I was eating, but I think I was like mid bite, and I put it down and started. Well, let me stop. That sounds good. I think I probably got one more bite, but either way, no, once we locked it on, camp started immediately. So I just immediately started putting the work in, man. Started getting my grappling back on point, getting my timing back on point with my striking, lifting for a little while and cardio. Lately, I've been focusing more on cardio. The first little while camp, I was just getting that strength back, man. You don't use those muscles, you lose it, that strength. So once I got back in the gym, I felt it was like, damn, I was pushing this like it was nothing, with reps. Now, I'm doing a Harlem Shake on the first rep, but once I felt like, I'm all right, I'm back, feeling good, now I focused on tightening up the technique and then the cardio. So everything's kind of firing on all cylinders right now, man. Obviously I ain't eating like I want, so that kind of affects stuff a little bit. But I'm feeling good, man.
Now, this is my first time interviewing you. For anyone that doesn't know you, that wants to get to know you a little bit better, what are some of your, I guess, outside hobbies outside of MMA that you like to do? Maybe that you've picked up, during this pandemic, or is there any movies or anything like that that you've gotten into that you can give people suggestions to watch?
Yeah, I don't watch a lot. I don't watch a lot of TV, not as much as I would like. But I'm a nerd though, man. I'm always surfing the net and trying to learn things. So I haven't picked up any new habits specifically, but some things that I'm into. I'm into chess. At one point, chess was a very big part of my life. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, so I was on the All Marine Corps chess team. Now I just play casually. Um, I'm actually a fan of MMA. Some people just fight and don't watch. Like I'm an MMA nerd. That my the inception of my fighting started through just being a fan. So I enjoy the sport. I like reading, like I said, justice work, nonprofit work. I know that's a real broad umbrella, but that's very important to me. Gender-based violence prevention is very important to me. I have a nonprofit where we focus on combating gender-based violence in Africa. So like I've just kind of been turning it up on that since I couldn't fight. I kind of put a lot of my energy and focus more so toward that, um, developing the curriculum, and also you know planning to travel until a lot of that got shut down. So just yeah, no real new habits, man. Just getting that family time in as well.
Well, it's also great to hear the nonprofit work that you're doing, and trying to help out the community and whatnot. When you look at everything that you know our country is going through right now, and today is election day, everyone's out there voting for the president. So where do you feel like we stand right now as a country, and as a world moving into 2021? Do you feel like things are going to get better, and if not, like what do you feel like we need to do to kind of change some of the awful things that are really happening in our world?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be PC with you, so because that's yeah, that's whack. I'll say this. Um, Regardless of anyone's political affiliation, I think it serves everyone who lives in this country to understand that when the kind of political and racial climate is just out of control, no one really wins. Like it's bad for everyone. It's bad for the economy. It's bad for relationships. It destroys families. Like I mean, people are really divided along lines, and I think sometimes again, I don't care whether you're more left leaning, more right leaning, but when once people say, "Hey, this is what I am," then that means like the totality of whatever the world associates with that block, that's what you are, and you oppose everything else. I think that's dangerous. I think there's a serious mistaken analysis. You can be liberal about some things, you can be conservative about some things, but this kind of idea of like, you know, uh, shit, it's honestly like gang banging, right? Like, what's your set? I'm this, I'm that. It's ridiculous. It's really um the kind of yeah. I'll say this: since I've been alive, or at least old enough to kind of have a perspective on something, I don't know if it's been this stratified. Like when we think about class, race, shit, and gender, like the kind of stratification these days is insane. Now that doesn't mean like I'm also I do a lot when I say justice work. A lot of it is besides GBV prevention. I'm still a black man in America, so I still a lot of it is racial justice work. But so I'll say this: um, a lot of things that people are that's kind of coming to the forefront. These are things that have been happening. I'll say the kind of post-racial veil has kind of been lifted. So I don't believe in this whole like there's some new shit going on, right? But the thing is, um, the response to that and like the kind of the lines that are kind of drawn in the sand where people are like, look, I stand here, I stand there, and if you don't subscribe to this thought, then now there's now we can't talk, now we can't like it's wild, man. I don't even want to, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Shit is bad right now, and I say that to say the goal should be like we still live in the same country. Regardless of what anybody believes about this country, any country, we still live in this country. And when this country is weaker because we are so stratified, that honestly makes us more vulnerable. You know what I mean? In many, many ways. So yeah, I think like you said, it's election day. So I'll say this. Regardless of who wins the presidency, the goal of this country and every other country is going to be the same. Anybody can figure out what they believe that is or not. Our day-to-day interaction with each other, our interpersonal relationships, that shit is priority. And I think yeah, your politics can't just be defined to one damn day every 4 years. I don't want to beat up on anybody, but that stuff gets a little annoying. I don't mind people being proud to vote, saying I voted for the state. Okay, cool. But that can't be the totality of your damn political consciousness. I vote once every damn 4 years and I did my damn work, but I'm not doing shit in the community, or how I'm treating people, in very disrespectful ways because they don't, they're not of the same race, class, sex, gender, or religion. We got to kind of get off the clown stuff, man. We've got too much access to information, to be so damn goofy. I wish I could find. I don't want to do the work to kind of intellectualize this shit. So I just say like goofy. We got too much access to information for this kind of clown stuff.
Yeah, well, very well said. I just hope that 2021 is better than 2020. This has been just
now that I believe it will be. So let me say that I do believe it will be, not just because I don't believe it can get worse. Like things will always get worse, but I think with COVID, like the problems we have in the world and in this country are not because of COVID, but at the same time, it kind of exacerbated, a lot of problems because the economy's fucked up, right? And a lot, people's money's fucked up, man. And when people are stressed and their paper's messed up, everything else is a bigger deal. You see what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, again, I'm with you. I think 2021 will be better than this year. Let's just hope that continues to move in the right direction. I do want to talk about your last fight. We got to go all the way back to November of 2019, CFFC 80. You took a loss to Christian Leonard. You're a veteran, man. You've been around this game for a while now. What did you learn specifically from that fight?
Let me say this, man. Much respect to Christian Leonard. I don't want to beat up on him, but if anybody saw the fight, you saw the fight. You know what I mean? No, you like I won 3 rounds. I was going into the third. I was circling, and I thought I was out of range, and he stepped in on your boy and dropped the hammer on me. So two things I can control, and something I'll admit that doesn't feel good, but I have to. I wasn't in the type of shape that I should have been in that fight. There's no excuse. That's just reality. That's not Christian's fault. Christian did what he was supposed to do. What he didn't do is a motherfucker missed weight by 5 pounds. And so when I talk about accountability, I should have took the fight because I told myself if he missed by a certain amount of pounds, because we actually had a catch weight because it was supposed to be a 55. Then they asked for a catch weight 2 weeks out. Did the catch weight, still missed. I told my coaches, my coach told me, okay, if he misses, don't take the fight. I want to take the fight, and I feel like I even put my coaches in a real shitty position because they're not gonna force me and say no. So I kind of, I got to take accountability for that. But another thing I got to take accountability for more so, because he didn't win because of the weight. Like I said, I was winning other rounds. Is that my cardio isn't where it should have been, and I shouldn't have took the fight. And when I say that, because I was still I don't use the word depression loosely, but I was not over the loss before that to Tristan Conley. Now the thing about that fight, I trained my ass off. I was in the best shape I'd ever been in my life. I fought my ass off. We were 2 rounds and 2-2 going into the 5th round. Got finished late. Incredible fighter, incredible jiu-jitsu. He was the #1 fighter in Canada. He went on to the UFC. Late notice, 2 weeks, went up to 170, beat that guy, and I'm happy for him. But I gotta admit this. So one fight a night, $50,000. His opponent missed weight, so he got his 50. So so think about this: a guy that I fought 3 fucking weeks ago goes in the UFC, makes 100 G's. I'm sorry, 120 roundabout because he made his fight and his win, his bonus and the other dude bonus right after I fought him. And I fought so like, I was happy for him. We talked. He's been mad supportive, but I was like, so in my mind, I didn't say this, but subconsciously I felt like, I got to get that back, man. I got to get the stench of this loss back. So I took this fight, had like a fat camp. I was sleeping on Christian a little bit, but I know what I can do. And props to Christian. It's like, look, motherfucker, I don't care. What you just went through. I'm a whole new person. There's a whole new fight. So if I can say a lesson I learned, is that lesson. You know what I'm saying? Be prepared. Show everybody the damn respect that they deserve. And like I said, that year it started off good, man. I had two really big wins, two main event bouts. I took a late notice fight against a guy, Saba Fadai. He was like 12-5, president of the promotion. He was training for a title fight. Took the fight 2 weeks notice. Won a split decision is in his hometown in Canada. Came back a month later, fought Joe Giannetti. I was in incredible shape because I was motivated. Giannetti was like, I don't know, 8-1. He won like 3 fights by submission or someone, Ultimate Fighter. Lost this. I don't know if it was a split. It was an ugly ass loss. It was an ugly fight. Split decision in the UFC. Got cut, and I think he won 2 more after that. So anyway, long story short, he was hyped up. Went to his backyard, Boston. I ain't even Boston. Look, no disrespect, but y'all racist as shit. So anyway, in addition to the fact that I'm fighting their guy, it's also Boston. Go there, steamroll him. So I'm coming into that Tristan fight with some serious momentum. I'm like, look, it's my time. You know what I mean? It's Black Summer. I'm about to do my thing. Went in there, fought my ass off, lost. Okay, then got the opportunity for the Christian fight, and I just, yeah, it's my fault, man. It reminds me of like you follow a lot of MMA interviews.
I do.
So Bisping, when he lost to GSP, he fought Gastelum almost immediately. And Gastelum's a fucking beast. Like, dude, stop it. Fighting Gastelum at any point is tough. And, I don't want to just use the same thing, but I can relate. Bisping said something like after the loss, like, listen, man, I underestimated him, and I just wanted that back. Like I wanted to erase that win. I wanted to, but the thing is, man, if you win another, erase that loss. If you win the fight, it don't erase the damn loss, dumbass. Like, you're still gonna feel good because you won, but it does not erase the loss that you had. And not only that, you're risking it because your ass can fuck around and lose twice, and then be like, it's my fault, but I shouldn't even took this. So props to Christian Leonard. No disrespect when I say, but you know what it is, Christian. You know what I'm saying? If you listen, now let me stop. But the fight's the fight. He did what he's supposed to do, and yeah, man, that was a tough pill to swallow, man. That was a tough pill. But I had some time to sit on that. So yeah, I'm putting in the work. That's why I didn't. That's why we doing this interview mid workout, and I'm getting right back on it because it's not just about your skill, and it ain't even just about my body is the machine, the mechanism that my skills are operating through. So my body's got to be tight. You know what I'm saying? My mind's got to be tight. So yeah, man, that was a hard lesson, but that was a long ass way to answer your question. That's the lesson.
If you had the opportunity to fight Christian Leonard again, would you jump all over that, or are you just kind of beyond that at this point?
I mean, I'm not gonna hound the dude. He did what he's supposed to do. But yeah, if I got an opportunity, hell yeah, I'd fight him again.
Okay. Yeah. And I got to follow up on what you said about the racism in Boston, because that's essentially where I'm from. I'm up in the New England area.
Oh, Boston.
Is there something specific that happened?
Well, the thing is, it's no secret, man. My fights, damn near all of my fights, main event me going to someone's backyard. I pride myself on, I went up the hard route. All these guys in the tournament, I see someone with some sparkling records, and I'm looking at the guys they fought again. No disrespect, but regardless of what, we all here. We all at the same place. So regardless of how you got here, regardless of how I got here, we all here. You know what I mean? I'll come back to that. But let me get to your question. Yeah, I mean, Boston is just, you're from Boston. You know what I'm saying? So you know what it is. So no one's gonna, and I'm not saying because I'm a fighter, but like no one's gonna outright say something to your face. But you're in a crowd, people are in the crowd, and in crowds there's a level of anonymity, no different than being online. So sometimes you hear some wild shit. You know what I mean? So so yeah, like this is before the fight. Like when I go in the cage, you can go in the cage to kind of warm up. Now again, it's not the city in itself, but when we were at the fight, and some of that is like, I'm I'm fighting their guy. Giannetti is from Boston. You don't get a more Bostonian name than damn Giannetti. You know what I'm saying? So Joe, you know what I mean? Come on now, does it get? Come on now, Joe Giannetti. So anyway, yeah. So this is the outsider. This is the guy. So the blackness in itself, it probably was honestly just a low hanging fruit, just an easy target. You know what I mean? So I'm not tripping on that. But I'm just saying, like, the reason I was bringing it up is to say, when you going into hostile territory and whooping ass, you know what I'm saying? That's a big deal, man. And getting and then bringing the crowd on your side because they can't deny what you did. So and even then, it's crazy because I won the fight. I think 29-28 should have been 30-27 because I won every minute of every round. So one of them judges, was tripping. It was still unanimous, but I'm just saying like that shit happens when you go in somebody's backyard, man.
So definitely a significant win over Giannetti. A nice feather in your cap there. Before we dive into this XFC fight with Scott Hudson, I do want to ask you, I guess what your goals are right now as a fighter. I mean, you've been around for a while now. Your record's 18, 15, and 1. What are you hoping you can accomplish before you, ride off into the sunset and move on to something else?
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, man. It's no secret, man. I'm no one. Let me tell you, I never did any sports before I started fighting, so I'm not burnt out. You know what I mean? Like some of these guys. You know what I mean? I wish I would have made earlier in my career smarter decisions, but I was fighting for fun. Like I wanted to win, obviously. I fight to win, but some of the decisions that I tell younger guys to make, like I didn't have that, man. We didn't have a scene like prime example. Again, it's not to beat up on Janetti, but Janetti was 8-1 when I fought him, 7-0 or something like that. Emmy, every single one of his fights. Keep me on this. Every single one of his fights, every one, besides the UFC fights, were on the same promotion. You see what I'm saying? That what that means is he had a full camp every single fight. He knew who his opponent was going to be every single fight. That's no knock on him. And he got the red carpet to the UFC. No knock on him. That's what it's supposed to be. My first 10 fights, I fought 8 out of my first 10 fights out of state in somebody else's backyard, main event. When I was 3-2, I beat somebody who was 9-1. When I was 5-2, I beat somebody who was 7-3. When I was 7-4, I went to Peru, fought Alexander Pequeno Nogueira, Shuto champion, 23-7. Fought him to a draw in Peru. So only reason I'm saying that is to say that's the type of shit I had to do to come up. You see what I'm saying? There was no promotion in the Carolinas. You know what I mean? That's like, we're gonna have this event every couple of whatever. You're the ticket seller, so we're gonna build this around you. We didn't have that. And again, that's no one's fault. I'm not bitter, but I'm just saying, like, I came up the hard route, and my skill set, yeah, it came from that. There's also some decisions I should have made when I was younger, just saying no to certain shit, like no, this is whack, or this ain't this right now. But Miami career, the coach I had, he kind of already set the tone where like, look, man, fighters fight, and it kind of carried over. So I wish some things would have been different, but it's all good, man. I've had a dope career. This is my interview, so like I said, I ain't gonna be on no false modesty shit. I gotta brag a little bit. I'm 4-0. I'm about to say 3-0, but I forgot Nate Landwehr's in the UFC now. 4-0 versus UFC vets. 4-0 versus UFC vets. 3 of the guys that I fought that got out the UFC, I was their first fight out the UFC. So I'm not fighting no over the hill guys who, no disrespect to BJ, but like lost 10 fights and then just making a legend of their name. I'm fighting them as they come out. Rand Weathers, Dustin Page, Joe Giannetti coming off, these guys coming off wins. Like I said, Nate Landwehr went in there, proud of him, got a big win. That's the type of shit that I was doing, man. Went not only 4-0 versus UFC vets, I got 6 international fights. You know what I mean? I got no guys been in the UFC 6 years, 7 years don't have no in the damn national fights. 6 international fights. Fought in Russia, Peru 3 times, Canada twice. So to tie it back into the question as far as what I'm looking at, this is about the time where it's time to think about the exit strategy and riding off. Now it's time to collect. This tournament, man, and again, props to XFC, props to to David, David Arvello, man, my manager. It gave me a way to not only salvage the salvage the year, but tie this up, but kind of bring um a nice closer to the because I'm going to win this tournament. You'll mark my words. I'm going to smash. I'm going to dominate this tournament. Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to David Arvello. He got me this opportunity. And one, it's a way to kind of salvage the year, and it's a nice opportunity to kind of make some things right, man. I've had some real highs in my career. You know what I mean? Some really, I've had some lows, and this is a nice way. It's big enough. The incentive is big enough to bring out the best of me, make me prioritize it, push everything else out to the side. As anyone knows, look, I'm a family man. I got a lot of stuff going on, man. I wear a lot of hats, and that's no excuse. But because of that, I haven't always prioritized things like I should have. And like I said, the incentive, with this, what it is. You know what I mean? Besides, the financial incentive, the platform that it's on. We talk about NBC Sports, the belt, the prestige of the tournament. Like I'm focused. I'm dialed in. This will be a nice way to kind of, right. And even then, I know they're building a roster. So the kind of scale they have, if you win the tournament and then you start fighting for the promotion, that's much more than, you be getting offered on a regional circuit. So it's, to be honest with you, man, this is kind of reinvigorating. And after I win the first fight, the second fight, and eventually the tournament, I'm pretty sure I'm going to feel that even more like an injection of like whatever. Like I still got, 2 years, 3 years, I mean, maybe more, obviously, but like I know I got that in strong and solid, man. It's just about my motivation. And like anybody who knows this sport, man, especially outside of the big show, this is a very broke sport, man. Like some people look at the prestige, like, oh man, my man's traveling here, you in Russia fighting, you doing fly shit, but you know what type of grind it is, man. So now XFC is really, investing in the fighters. I've seen a lot of promotions, they got real decent names, but all that money is going into the broadcasting and the media deals, and that's cool. But the fighters are essential. You know what I mean? That shit being disseminated like that. But XFC is coming out the gate. I don't know what kind of stuff they got worked out, but I appreciate y'all. And so yeah, man, it's on. I got to get it.
Well, you got a really interesting first round matchup against Scott Hudson. He's 11-5-1. He's on a 4-fight win streak. Tell me, when you look at his skill set, how do you feel you match up with him?
Yeah, I mean, he looks solid. He looks solid. I think I match up well with him. I heard an interview he did a little while back, and he feels the same way. So I guess it's good that we both feel the same way, because a week from tomorrow we'll see. I think he's like I said, one thing I respect about him, he's taking his career seriously. He's relatively well-rounded, decent enough striking. He seems to like to grapple more to strike. I guess he's in good shape. I haven't seen any fights where he's coming in there out of shape, decent cardio. So yeah, he's well-rounded, solid. But yeah, man, like it's levels, and I'm again, he'll see. Like my striking, my grappling, not just my jiu-jitsu, but my wrestling, my creativity, my heart, my determination. Man, yeah, this is gonna be the best version of me throughout this tournament, and I'll keep getting better. But yeah, I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped, and also I'll say this: there's more strategy that comes into thinking about the tournament, because like I said, I'm coming to win. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can. You were just coming in and out there for a second.
Yeah, my screen went black for a moment. Let me.
No, you're good. We're good right now. Yep.
Okay, as long as you can see me, it's all good.
Yep.
So yeah, with the tournament, like there's some strategy that comes into play, because we're gonna be fighting relatively frequently. You know what I mean? And so it's not just about being in decent shape to fight again. I got to get back in the lab as far as training. So, I'm gonna be looking to add some new, a new. I don't want to say a new me, but just show some different looks, and I'm really excited, man. A lot of things that I've been working on over the years in the gym, but I haven't been, I haven't been doing them in fights like that for whatever reason. So I'm just ready to bring it all out, man.
How does this fight with Scott end? How do you see yourself getting your hand raised?
Um, some of that's gonna depend on how he reacts to some things I'm doing, but I can see myself winning by if I get on top, like it's a wrap. I don't care how good he thinks his jujitsu is. I don't care who his damn training partners are. If I get on top of him, it's gonna be tough for him. I can see myself, maybe winning by some form of submission. If I'm on top, ain't no secret. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm looking for that. I look for arm triangles. Um, I mean, he can see my fights online. If I get his back, it's gonna be tough for him too. But if we're striking, that volume's gonna be there. I'm not one of those guys who's just got super heavy hands, whatever. So I'm more of a volume type guy, and then when they get hurt, I pounce and I finish. But I will say this, um, this is gonna be the best version of me. Like my mind is I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Hard to know, how I'm gonna take it. However, the fight comes. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna work my specific game plan, and whatever I see, I'm gonna pounce on the opportunity. I'm not gonna force anything. I've got plenty of time, but once I see the openings, I'm gonna just, yeah, it's gonna be like a chasm. I'm gonna, uh, make them wider, and I'm gonna capitalize, and I'm gonna look to finish. I will say that. That's something very specific I can say about my game plan. I'm gonna be looking to finish.
Obviously, your full attention is on Scott right here in this first round matchup. But is there someone else in this tournament that you're expecting to face, or that you're hoping that you will face? If you do get out of the first round here.
Yeah, man. Like it's tough, man, because like I don't want to be bullshitting you, right? People like, oh no, I'm just focusing on the guy in front of me. Man, I look at all these damn jokers. It's hard to damn. How the hell? How can I not? You know what I mean? So obviously, I'm focusing on Scott, and I've seen more. I've seen a lot. I've seen a couple of fights of Scott's. Everyone else I might have seen one fight. I think I said this on another interview, but I saw Halabar was a late addition to the fights. He wasn't on the kind of initial roster. He's a guy I knew. I've been a fan of this guy. I knew about him a while back. We both fought on the same show one time, the Titan show. Um, we both got wins on that show. I beat this guy Mike Bruno from ATT. He starts this guy Lloyd Woodard from Jackson's. So when he got in the UFC, I was happy for him. I saw he what it is. What happened with the contender series. So I don't want to I'm not going to disparage nobody, but like I know what it is. But the thing is, besides all of that, he's a skilled guy. So the thing is, his matchup with Jazero Boy, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. He's another guy who I was looking at. I was like, oh, this is a strong fighter before they even had the brackets. So them fighting each other is yeah, there were two fighters that I thought were strong fighters. There's another guy who I thought was in the tournament, but I don't think he's in it anymore. Ben Egley. He was a jiu-jitsu guy. I had never heard him before the tournament. But I remember looking him up like, man, this motherfucker jiu-jitsu is damn official. Like I plenty of black belts. I beat plenty of black belts. So I'm not tripping on the fact that he's a black belt, but like, no, his application of jiu-jitsu and MMA was really good. So I really was looking forward to him doing well in the tournament. I don't know what happened with that, so I don't think he's there anymore. But yeah, and everybody's anybody could be a sleeper. So I'm not disrespecting any of the other guys, but I'm saying I was already familiar with Halabar and Boy. Again, only one of them could win, so it doesn't really matter. When I looked up his fights, I was only gonna watch one, but then I couldn't stop watching because I like the way the guy fights. I'm like, man, this dude is pretty damn good. I said this on the other interview again. I ain't gonna be bullshitting and sugarcoating. They signed, I think, Cross. His last name's Cross. They signed him to their official XFC thing, and that's cool. And I feel like they're pushing him. And like again, there's nothing wrong with that. He's a young guy. I guess he's got the image and stuff like that. But whatever, man. Like again, people are gonna see. Like it's levels to the shit. You're gonna see who's been out here, bullshitting. And like I said, I'm gonna, I feel like I'm a dark horse. Anybody who know, no pun, right? Let me stop. But anybody who I see you weren't supposed to laugh at that. Let me stop. But anybody who follows the sport, man, and you look at my fights and you look at my record, you know what it is, So now it's time to stop it. Anytime, the higher the stakes, the better I operate. Whenever I fight in close proximity to each other, my fights are back to back. I always thrive. I always do my best. So this tournament is both of those, and the stakes are even higher, and the fights are even closer. So this is tailor made for your boy. You understand? So yeah, those are two that I think kind of stood out for me. There's another guy who had a really good record, and he seemed good, but you never know. Like I haven't seen him. Tapology is dope because it shows the records of the people they fought. I didn't see him fight anybody that I thought was like a super tough test. But that's the thing about fights. Like you can only fight the guys who are in front of you. So this guy could be an absolute monster and just hadn't fought anybody else. So who knows? But yeah, I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping on that. But I think Alabama boy were two of the guys that I was like, okay, these dudes. So I think I can see myself fighting whoever wins their fight even later. Well now I'm sorry. Now next after the Hudson fight, and I'm focusing on Hudson, but in my mind I'm winning this whole thing, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that. So I'm gonna go ahead and like focus on what's next within the context of this conversation. Switch to, and I gotta XFC's cool, but I gotta slap them up a little bit. They changed the bracket, and I'm cool with that. But there's a bracket that was out whatever morning they put the brackets out, and I was about to share it, and I said, "Let me wait." So I screenshot the picture. I looked that night, and they changed the bracket. So I won't go into. Maybe I'll talk to you offline, and I'll tell you about what I think why. But it don't matter. It don't matter. You're gonna have to fight. You're gonna. That's what I love about the tournament. You can't stop these. You gotta whoop everybody's ass to win the tournament. Whoever wins. Now, whether people have some idea like, okay, well, these guys are gonna have to go against each other, and maybe they'll be banged up. Whatever, you can bank on that all you want, but just the fact that people feel like they need to try to set up the type of stuff, it's already showing what it is. I'm coming. You know what I mean? And again, matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you what it is, but I don't want to, I don't want to talk too much shit.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
No, well, again, this is a really intriguing fight and just a great tournament altogether. So again, Dewan Owens taking on Scott Hudson, November the 11th, XFC 43, and you can catch it on NBC Sports. Dewan, I very much appreciate your time, my friend. Before I do let you go, I want to give you the floor to thank any sponsors you may have and plug your social media.
Yeah, man, too many to name, man. Like my people know what it is. They know what it is. I show love. So let me just say this: big fat shout out to K-Side MMA, Toro BJJ, everybody else. Like I said, y'all peep the banner. I got a lot, but the main thing I want to say, just much love and respect to everybody, you know, who's out here just striving for whatever they want, whether they're people who are into MMA or not. Like you spoke about earlier, and I'm glad you did, because this is always the elephant in the room these days. With the kind of political and social climate, I really want people to kind of focus on value and our kind of interpersonal relationships with each other, and just seeing the kind of commonality we have. And like everybody's out here striving for the same thing, man. We just trying to make a living, and just thrive. And a lot of times there's a lot of, sometimes structural shit that gets in the way of that. But thriving, striving, and being big, being tall doesn't have to mean at the expense of someone else. You know what I mean? We really got to get out of this idea that there's so much damn scarcity, and the reason that we don't have something is because somebody else who don't have shit want a little piece of it too. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's it. So much love and respect to everybody out there, and just check your brother out on November 11th, man. I'm gonna be out there throwing them things and doing my thing and ready to represent.